So we left off right here at the Unity interface when I was kind of throwing that Adobe Sparks and how to begin your work. So in the Unity interface, what we do is we open up Unity and I show you all the little things that come with Unity. Once again, the information provided here are from older versions, so we're actually using this newer version together for the first time, you and I and the class. So a lot of this information is still the same, so please don't let the version differences confuse you. What we're looking at is the interface of the Unity application. So let's go ahead and open up Unity. So I have Unity set up, a nice little shortcut, and of course it's going to open up over on my other screen, you know. So with the new Unity versions, a hub opens up. So the hub says, well, what do you want to do? And as you can see, I had quite a few projects. If you've never completed a project, this is going to be empty for you. So what I want to do is actually create a new project. And the new project is going to be my last name and my first name. Did I spell my name right? No, of course not. I have a little dyslexia, so when I'm typing, things get mixed up. So, you know, I understand, you know, when people come to me and they say things like, I'm having difficulty concentrating, I understand that, trust me. So I'm going to actually name this project because I'm going to use this project throughout the whole class. So I created a project folder, but I'm going to call this one the game. So it's going to be the same thing all over. When you have a Unity hub, they have what versions? I have several versions installed on this particular computer. So I'm using this later one as my preferred version. Then I come down to the location. Where do I want to save this at? Well, you know what? I created that beautiful, beautiful projects folder right there. Those are my projects folder. And I'm going to select that folder to keep my Unity project within. I'm going to make sure it's 3D because that's what I'm working with right now, is a 3D component, and then I'm going to create my project. So while we wait for Unity to open up, I'm going to head over to the Adobe Sparks page. And so what I'm going to do for this Adobe Sparks page, once I open up the Unity application, I'm going to take a screenshot so I can use it right here for my image of my presentation. And for an example of that, I'm going to take you over. And these are all little images brought in for the presentation. So if I open up the podcasting Sparks page, you'll see the title page and the subtitle, but I added that image in the background. So that's what we're going to do for that right there. So I also, in the VGD 121, I'm still waiting, it's loading. Here, I guess I could show you what's happening. Unity is saying, okay, we're importing things, and why they're importing, I'm not sure because I have nothing in my new project. I didn't even ask for any assets or anything, but that's what's happening. It's actually loading everything up. So, so I'm going to add that image there. That's going to be the first thing that I do. Right, so then I have my introduction and I added a little image, and then I went through the Unity install, remember, and I took that image, and now we're at this Unity interface. And because I kind of knew what was going on, I already added my text. So you would actually add your text as you add your images, but I'm going to do that now so you can see everything that's going on. So I believe Unity is about ready to open up. It takes a little while to open up Unity, and here we go. So this is my Unity, and it's not quite all in the record screen, so if you bear with me one moment here while I get that ready and going for you. So let me just do that right there. No, okay. So, all right. So I'm sorry. I'll quit messing around and just get down to business here. All right, let me drag it, drop that right to the score. Okay, so this particular opening, I'm going to go to Window, Layouts, and this is the default layout. So this is your Unity application in a nutshell. And we go into depth in the lecture of what each component is about. And what I like that Unity does now that they never did before was they create a scenes folder and they create a sample scene in there for you. For myself, your folders will be lined up alphabetically, and I like my scenes folder to be first because I like it to be first. So I just throw an underscore in there, and all I did was I clicked on the name until I got this option to add. You can always right click and rename. So I have my scenes folder, and what I have here is the official default layout, which is one of my favorites to work in. I don't know why, but it works for me. So I would take a screenshot of this particular layout to add to my Sparks page. Ooh, forgot what I was doing there. So I'm going to create new, and I'm going to take a nice screenshot of this layout, right? So now I'm going to save this, save as. It's going to go in my projects folder, and I'm going to call it default, oops, not default, default layout. I think I'll just call it default. And save that. So the next thing I'm going to do is I also like another layout. And when I say layouts, I mean how the application looks to you on the screen. And Unity has several ways that you can look at layouts. One is over here above your inspector window. You have some layouts here that you can look at. And then the best way is to come over to your layouts, and one of the other ones that I like is the wide. Now you have to work in Unity for a while to find your preference. Sometimes you'll find one that you really like, and then you'll start a new project and it's just not working for you and you have to change your layout. So this is my second one, which is the wide. So I'm going to come over to my snipping tool. I always call it snippet. So if I say snippet or snipping, same thing. So I'm going to grab this second layout, and I'm going to save it and come over here. We're going to call it wide. And then the last layout I wanted to place in my particular Sparks page was the 4-split. And 4-split is used a lot with people who work with 3D modeling, because this is a way they can look at the X, Y, and Z axes, which you'll understand later, and for that perspective view. So you have a top view, a front view, and a side view, and then you'll have your perspective view over here. So that's what a 4 split screen layout is. And let me go ahead and grab again a screenshot of the 4. Screenshot, file, save as 4, and there ain't no more. So I'm gonna drop that out. I'm gonna go back to my default layout. So default layout. So this is it, and I'm actually going to take use that default layout screenshot for the main background. So that's all it is about the interface. So in this interface, you know, you have your menu bar, just like any other application. You have a menu bar. Then you have a few other little tidbits you can use. You have your hierarchy, which is everything that's in the scene. You have a game view, which is how the scene would look in game view. And you possibly have the asset store tab as well opened. Now you can leave this open or right click and close the tab. It's up to you. You know, if you're going to use things from the asset store, you might want to keep it open. So this is the actual, like I said, default layout. We've talked about the hierarchy, the scene views. This is if you want to play your game. So when you select run, it opens up the game window. Over here is the inspector, which you'll learn about anytime you add an object to your scene and you select that object over in the inspector window. It'll show all the transform tools, all the components that you can add and remove. Over down at the bottom, I should say, is your projects, and your projects is where everything is kept, so you can take a look at all of that good stuff. That I guess they do bring you nice little scripts in here. This is really my first time to look at this. I'm actually excited about this. So this is your projects folder, houses everything that you bring into your project. The more you have, the bigger the file. The bigger the file, the slower the game. You've got to keep that in mind. Do not bring things in that you don't need. That's all I'm going to say. So over in your assets, so I selected assets, and the assets folder shows here. Right now we have one folder. It's a scenes folder. I'm going to go ahead and right click, create folder, and make this one textures, because we'll bring some textures in here. And that's how easy it is to create folders within your project. So we're going to stop there for this one. I'm going to head over and add stuff into the Sparks page, and we'll come back for the next one.